Hi, I'm Austin from Hatha Yoga, and does your favorite yoga teacher have masculine or feminine energy? Let's get into it. Whether a person has masculine or feminine energy doesn't always depend on birth gender, but men tend to have more masculine energy and women tend to have more feminine energy, but it's not that black and white. When we see metaphors that are trying to define masculine and feminine energy, some may be abstract, but some may play into a gender narrative. Yin and Yang, for example, is completely abstract. Hatha Yoga, which could mean left and right, is also more abstract. Sun and moon, still not really gender specific, more abstract. But then we get into ideas like Krishna and Radha, Shiva and Shakti, the lover card in the tarot, and even the Christ and the Madonna. One way to break away from the gender narrative is to start seeing masculine and feminine in different terms. Simon Baron-Cohen at Cambridge University feels that maybe we should divide these spectrums into systemizers and empathizers. Systemizers are people who are good with systems or focus on tasks, and this could be considered masculine energy. Empathizers are people who are more focused and are able to channel feelings and abstract concepts, and this could be considered feminine energy. Masculine energy tends to be about doing and action-oriented. It likes structure and it likes to have a goal. Some of the positive attributes of masculine energy is it has rational, logical problem solving, it's fond of challenges, it encourages healthy competition, it's skill-oriented and purpose-driven, it's focused on strength and endurance, it creates thinking outside the box. There is a longing for admiration and appreciation. It tends to be independent and is looking for freedom and release, but it's also introverted. Some of the negative traits of masculine energy is it can be critical of itself and others. It makes big things small. It's forgetful, it's controlling, and it's also kind of distant and reserved. On the contrary, female energy can be much more organic, it can be more free-flowing, and it doesn't like to be always boxed into rational thinking. It likes to be emotional and heart-driven. Feminine energy's positive characteristics is it's nurturing, it is emotional problem solving, it's multitasking, it's focused on flexibility that's not just physical, it's good at loving itself and self-care, it's able to judge outside of rational thinking, it's interdependent, it sets up community, it's also very extroverted. Feminine energy's negative characteristics is little things become big things, feelings of being unseen and misunderstood, it needs reassurance and validation, it can be very passive-aggressive, and it can also be very smothering. A growing body of research shows that we're all traits of both masculine and feminine energy, but we do tend to gravitate to one or the other. When yoga teachers tend to approach teaching yoga asana with masculine energy, they tend to be very structured, skill-oriented, goal-oriented. When that masculine energy is out of balance, it can become a little yoga sergeant-like. So this is my opinion, but these are 4 yoga teachers that I find to have really great masculine energy. And I chose 3 women and 1 man for a reason. Kino McGregor, number 1, I think she's an amazing teacher. And like when you want to know how to teach something, those details of telling a student on how to come in and out of a really hard asana, go to Kino. Karen Fabian, Nathanya Stamboli, and Young Ho Kim, who is probably the one that everybody's going to say, why did you pick him? He's the creator of Inside Flow. And his work looks very organic and very fluttery or flowy or feminine in some people's minds, but in reality, he's very structured. It's very structured choreography. It's like modern dance. So I still consider him a very masculine-based teacher. Yoga teachers who tend to have more feminine energy when teaching yoga asana can be more carefree. The details are not as important. There can be kind of like a relaxed quality. But when this energy is out of balance, this becomes kind of like the yoga nanny. Here are 4 teachers that, in my opinion, tend to teach from a more feminine energy platform. Susanna Bartataki, Adrienne Michelin, Alan Finger, and Sri Dharma Mitra, who is known for teaching very difficult, hard classes, but he tends to teach those difficult asanas from a very emotional-driven place. It's not like anatomy-driven, it's not technical, it's more like bring up the emotions to push through it, which is very feminine energy. Unfortunately, what's being pushed in the American Western yoga industry is the concept of the yoga nanny, that every yoga teacher is supposed to have this kind of like surrogate mother energy. This may be because the yoga industry is so female dominated. 80% of all yoga students are female and 78.8% of all yoga teachers are female. Like I said, male-female energy isn't determined by gender, but male or female tend to gravitate to one or the other. As a male yoga teacher who tends to have a lot of masculine energy when I teach, I have experienced the backlash from this narrative within the yoga teacher that every yoga teacher is supposed to walk into the classroom and be a nurturer in a kind of motherly way. A lot of times I will get criticized because I'm skill-oriented or I have structured my classes in a certain way. I teach physically challenging asanas, and I tend to have a very straightforward and frank demeanor. In reality, we're all trying to balance this male and female energy. If we think about those symbols that we looked at, you know, the yin and the yang are pushing against each other. The kriyas of Hatha Yoga balance the left and the right hemispheres. The sun and the moon are chasing each other through the sky. Krishna and Radha are calling out to each other. Shiva and Shakti are longing to come together. The tarot cards, the lovers, are reaching out to each other. And the Christ and the Madonna are trying to bring unity to heaven and earth. There's not a balance there. They're trying to balance. I believe that most of us are trying to make that balance. And there are a few people who do make that balance, but they're few and far between. When I think of 2 yoga teachers who have really made that balance between masculine and feminine energy, one is Sean Korn and the other is Jason Crandall. In the end, what I'd like to tell young yoga teachers is to teach from an authentic platform. If you tend to have more feminine energy, allow that to show through. If you tend to have more masculine energy, let that shine through. Try to balance the two so one doesn't become yoga sergeant and the other doesn't become yoga nanny. But here again, you're working on balance also. What I'd like to tell yoga students is stop buying into the narrative that all yoga teachers have to be yoga nannies or surrogate mothers. When you're confronted with masculine energy in the yoga classroom, take the time to learn from its skill set. Take the time to learn from its knowledge or its structure. Don't throw it out or think it's oppressive just because it's not what you were expecting when you come into a class. Thank you for watching. I know this is one of my longer videos. If you like this video, please like, please subscribe, and follow us on both Instagram, TikTok, or YouTube. Again, thank you for all for being here, and I really appreciate your energy that you brought to this video.